gonna have it, you ain't gonna be lying to nobody. Nobody.
Hello and welcome again to the Strange Brew podcast. My name's Jason Barnard and that's Geraint Watkins and Nobody from his Geraint Watkins and the Dominators album from 1979. That's because I've got Geraint here today on the Strange Brew podcast. Not only has Geraint got a fabulous solo career and we'll be hearing highlights from his new compilation, Aide Memoire, he's been a sideman for so many great artists, which we'll be talking about today, including the likes of Nick Lowe, Van Morrison, Paul McCartney. Great musician on the keys here today. So let's hear my chat with Geraint. Hello.
Hello.
Geraint.
Yes. Can you see me?
Yeah, that's a fantastic welcome.
No. So.
Thank you very much for doing this. It's a real pleasure.
It's my pleasure. Thanks for asking me. I'm thinking, who wants to know?
One of the great things is you've played with some of the great figures of music, but this new collection is an opportunity to showcase your fine solo material that you've been releasing for over 40 years, isn't it?
Yeah, I know. I haven't got a big enough ego, I don't think, to see it through, really. I think you need to be Elvis Presley, and I'm not. But it's all good stuff.
Were you from a musical family?
Well, yes and no, but not really. I mean, my auntie played the organ a bit, and my uncle's a very good fiddler. Two of my brothers are very good. We used to play together growing up. But it's not like I was listening to Eliza Carthy on the radio last night, and that was a musical family. Bloody hell. I don't think they stopped. You know, the Martin Carthy and all them. But there was music around, yeah.
And so when did you start playing in front of people?
Well, not for a while. Well, when I was a teenager, I suppose, but no, we still didn't really take it seriously. I mean, I always did myself, but it was like, nah, don't be so silly, you know, you wouldn't, there was not, you know, in a little mining village in Abbotsford, you're not destined to go, you know what I mean? You think, and in the end, of course, I thought, well, I'm just going to give it a go and moved up to London and that.
So when you first started playing in groups in London, was that around the time of what is known as the pub rock scene, or was it earlier?
Yeah, I suppose so. I suppose it was just after that. The pub rock thing was going from 1970, I suppose, on. And I was about 1975 really came up, because still part of the pub rock thing. And in fact, the Balham Alligators were regarded as the doyens of pub rock in the 80s. Or whatever.
Your first single was with Geraint Watkins and the Dominators, Nobody. Yeah. So when did the musicians that coalesced around that come together?
That was from, because I moved up to London, because we used to come up here with a Cardiff band, Red Beans and Rice, which was Tommy Riley's band. And we used to come up to London to do the London pub gigs, you know, like Open Anchor and stuff, National Rooms. And it was after that I thought, well, I'm going to move up to London. So I did some rock and roll, Stuart Coleman's rock and roll show on Saturday. We did a couple with that band and with Memphis Bend, and I did a couple of my own. And then Andy Fairweather Lowe heard that rock and roll show and then gave me a ring and said, "Do you want to make a record?" And of course I said, yeah, you don't say no, do you? And he organised all the musicians that he knew the rock field. So we recorded it up there, and that was great. And he's really great, so he was still a pop star then.
The bonus of the Welsh connection coming back in, especially at Rockfield.
Well, yeah, it was sort of, I suppose it's in the blood, and you understand each other, it's, and they can all pronounce my name properly.
Yeah. It seems strange because Nobody, that first single of yours, it got quite a lot of play on Radio 1.
It did. It was Record of the Week. But I don't think it sold any, because I don't think the record company really thought it was going to sell it. I think it was, I don't know, maybe a sort of tax loss thing. No, I think the fella who really liked it, he left Vertigo Phonogram shortly after he had a falling out with them. So I was left. So they just put the record out and not expecting to sell it. And then it was Record of the Week. It was really annoying because I could have been a pop star.
You were on one of those Stiff tours, but was that with supporting someone else?
I was in Mickey Jupp's band. He's another one. He's great. He's a cantankerous old fellow, but I always got on really well with him because I liked his sense of humour. And he's a brilliant songwriter and singer and guitarist and piano player. He's brilliant. And the Stiff tour, of course, was great.
Your own songwriting needs a bit more of a spotlight shining on it. Deep in the Heart of Texas, from that early period, is now been recorded by so many artists and is a bit of a classic.
Well, a few have done it, yeah. Much to I'm so flattering when people do record it. Wow. It's brilliant. Yeah. Mike Sanchez did it. What's his name did it? Starry, Starry Night.
What, Don McLean?
Don McLean, yeah. He recorded it, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and he's written a few songs himself, hasn't he?
Yeah, just a few.
Just a couple, yeah. They done very well. And that bloke from NRBQ, he did it.
Dave Edmonds had Dave
Edmonds recorded it, yeah.
How did the collaboration with Shakin' Stevens happen? Because that was hugely successful.
It was. So we did the Dominators. I think we'd already done that. Stiff Tour. It must have been after that with Shaky.
Yeah, it was early 80s.
Yeah, early 80s, wasn't it? Yeah. And that was the same thing. I mean, that came through Stuart Coleman again, I suppose, because he was the producer of the Shaky Stevens. So he wrote me in to play piano, and really surprised me when it was a hit. And then there was another hit and another one, and they went, one after another. Blimey. That was good fun, though. All the girls are screaming at him.
When you think about it in retrospect with the music of the 1980s, who would have thought that more of a retro style of an artist, a bit more of that rockabilly, would be the biggest singles artist of the 80s?
I know. It's remarkable, isn't it? That's why I didn't really think because I remember saying to somebody who's like, oh, yeah, we don't, rock and whisk, that's, it's the thing of the past. We want to get modern, we want to, but no, because it's all the blinking same, and the music, whatever it is, it just keeps coming around the same stuff, really. And then punk that came, that's just rock and roll, isn't it? And then back in the days, rockabilly, that was like punk rock, wasn't it? And skiffle groups, they were pretty sort of, it wasn't exactly punk rock, but sort of the same in a way, wasn't it?
Kind of underrated looking back, Shakin' Stevens, because he wrote Oh Julie, didn't he?
He did, yeah. He came in one day and he said, oh, I've written this tune. It's like, oh. And again, you think, oh, that's all right, yeah. Yeah, the next thing, it's big. And I just happened to my accordion with me. He's like, oh, let's put some accordion on it. And then, another hit. But he had a good, the image was good and everything. And he did believe he was Elvis. And I think he was Elvis, But he's still a nice bloke. He just loves the whole persona, he loved Elvis and he just loved it. That comes across. Right?
Is he Welsh again?
Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, I don't know. That's the way it works, isn't it? And Mickey G was the guitar player in the band. He was Memphis Bend. I played on Red Beans and Rice, so I knew him from Cardiff. So it all comes round,
A very good fit for the type of music that you were playing anyway, Shakin' Stevens.
Oh, yeah, perfect. I mean, and Shaky just, like he thought, we got to have Mickey G. He was his sort of dream band. Well, say it was his dream band. I think his Sunsets were pretty good band. I don't know, but that's another story.
At Top of the Pops?
We did one Top of the Pops. And I think after that, the powers that be was thought, we didn't exactly project the right image. We did look like a bunch of old men. And we were sort of comparatively young then too. But I saw it the other day. Somebody sent me the film. It's on YouTube somewhere. They said, yeah, put these T-shirts on. Thinking, I think, that we'd look like James Dean or Marlon Brando. We just looked like we come off the building site.
How did the Balham Alligators form then? Or was that just musicians you were playing with?
Yeah, it's just some people I knew. I mean, Gary I knew from, he was sort of my best friend in college, in art college in Portsmouth. You know, we always vowed to make a band together, and then he moved. Then he did this, we did. But we sort of got back together again, and then he knew somebody else. And so next thing you know, and then I had bought an accordion, and then we just discovered Cajun music, you know, because then it wasn't all on the internet. It was like, you discovered things then, didn't you? It was like, wow, have you heard this? It wasn't like all at the flick of a switch. And I can't remember what it did. Oh, and then we had Kieran on the drums, who was a fantastic drummer, but he drank too much. And in fact, we all drank too much, but we didn't drink as much as him. And Robin, the fiddle, it was Robin's band, really, the fiddle player. I don't know. You asked me I don't know how it happened. We sort of fell into it somehow, and we sort of enjoyed it, and it was a bit crazy, but people liked it. I mean, we were a good live band, but we were very unruly, which is great, you know. And I think punk was still in the air, and we thought we were still, and we weren't. We just old men, but well, we were in our 30s by then. Of course, that's when you're old then, isn't you, in rock and roll terms? But anyway, it was good fun though.
Some of that live material, Live Alligators, I think that was from the Half Moon Putney, wasn't it? And
yeah, I think it was.
There's a description of the live gigs at the time, and something about setting light to paper aeroplanes. And is that something you recall? Pete the roadie would set light to paper aeroplanes and send them flitting across the stage.
Yeah, well, that could well have been. That sort of doesn't sound. I don't remember particularly that, but it was there. That's a sort of. It's all sorts of nonsense like that. I remember Peter used to come and he always used to heckle us. Go, you'll never be any good. Play something you know. And one night we all had enough. We all saw the stage and beat him up. We didn't beat him up. We just pretended to, you know. It's that sort of thing. And Robin had a dog who was Jimmy the dog. And we did old chef. He got him up and he go, oh, in the middle of old chef. Of course, that stole the show because, you know, you bring a dog on stage and he howls. You can't go wrong, can you? So that was brilliant. That sort of wild band.
I've read that the first Balham Alligators records were financed through some sort of government grant enterprise.
It was, because the bass player, Arthur Kitchener, he must have been on the dole at the time. And it was, I think it was Margaret Thatcher's thing. There's some plan about starting your own business. So you were given, I think it was £400 to start your own business. Don't know how it worked anyway. He got the £400, and the business he started was the record label, and we put the single out on that. It didn't sell many, though.
The last Balham Alligators album, Gateway to the South, with an example, Alan's Rock and Roll. You've described that as the best Alligators album. Is that something you feel?
Well, it was the best recording, I suppose. And a lot of the good stuff, the first one, we were so, you know, and Kieran we'd have to there'd be a window when he was good between 11:30 and 12, when he was the best drummer in the world. And the rest of the time, he was terrible. He was brilliant and we loved him, you know, but we just didn't record very well. Just didn't have enough discipline, I suppose, because we just went in the studio and went, yeah, we could, just put it up, man. Yeah, it's great. And then after you go, actually, it's not all that good, is it? When it actually came out. And the songs are great and everything, and we did some performance of good, but we just didn't take it seriously enough. But I think the last one, Gateway to the South, we started trying to take it seriously. And it was sort of all right. But by then, it was too late by then.
The album title that it originally came off, Gateway to the South, when you read that, you think it's of some sort of reference to the Deep South in the US, but I've read it was actually a Peter Sellers sketch.
Yeah, it was Balham, Gateway to the South. I think it actually did have on the side of the cinema on the Bedford Hill. It's actually got Balham Gateway to the South written up on the wall before Peter Sellers. That's what inspired him to do the sketch. And that's where most of us lived then. In fact, Geraint was born in Balham and after the bass player. So, yeah, we owe a lot to Balham.
So in the mid-90s, you played quite a bit with Nick Lowe. Did you know him first time around in the late 70s?
No, I didn't really. I always liked him. I always thought, I like him. I'd like to play with him. And of course, then I knew Dave Edmunds after Shaky. But the drum went out when Geraint died. The drummer that I was really friendly with on the Stiff tour, that played with Lena Lovitch, Bobby Irwin, he was Nick Lowe's best mate, really. And then he joined Balham Alligators. So it was through Bob and Nick. And, he said, why don't we just get... So he was connected like that through Bob. It all goes around always like a network, all suitably mad, like. recognizing each for their madness. They're like, oh, he's all right. He's as mad as I am. So it's a bit like that.
You played on a trio of Nick Lowe albums, and that seemed to be a period in his music where he stripped back the arrangements a bit more, possibly a bit more of a country soul influence.
Yeah. Which is great to do. I mean, it's sort of civilized, isn't it? When you get older, you calm down a little bit. And I loved it because they're all great songs he's written. And it was quite nice after the Balham Alligators to can we just sit down and just take it easy for a bit? And he was so brilliant. And of course, he's great. And Nick is great too.
Because Withered on the Vine is a great example. I think that's organ in the background of yours, and it's just so understated. It's plain enough, and you can hear it, and it sort of supports the vocals.
Yeah, well, that's what we did. We did all of it like that, really. It was just because really Nick he could just play the songs on the guitar and sing them, and he'd sort of out-rehearsed himself, he wouldn't. So we just supported him, right? Because just to make it like, in fact, he could have just done the records on his own, I think. But it was great to be there.
And you played quite a bit live with him, didn't you?
We did quite a lot of gigs. Yeah, we went to America a few times. We went to Japan, all good times. We went as a trio once to Japan. Was it Japan? Just me, Bob, and Nick. And that was all right, but it was stretching it a bit, just the three of us.
I once had a true love. I thought it would last. How could I know that it would go so fast? A love like a holiday, tender and kind, and I let it wither on the vine. Where did it run to? Where did it go? How could I let it slip through my fingers so? For it was a real love, and rare and fine, and I let it wither on the vine. But the hardest pill to swallow is still not the reason for you leaving, but the way I let it happen. Now I'm counting the cost of the loss of what was once mine, that I let wither on the vine. I once had a true love. I thought it would last. How could I know that it would go so fast? A love like a holiday, tender and kind, and I let it wither on the vine. Wither on the vine.
Nick featured on your solo album Watkins Boulder's Love.
Yeah. It was always a good thing. He's always really helpful and joined in and that. And on In a Bad Mood, he's on there. And he'd help out. It was him who said, because I sent him only a rose. I said, can you think of any more words to put on this? And he said, it doesn't need any more words. It's finished.
Yeah.
So in a way, he sort of helped write it by saying, you've done it. You think, oh, okay.
My Happy Day. I think that's a song that you wrote in the 90s, wasn't it?
Yeah. Only just over the road from where I'm sitting now. I was feeling pretty low. It was touch and go. We've all had those times when you think, oh, bloody hell, how the hell are we going to manage? There must be something to do. And of course, that's when you write stuff like My Happy Day.
Listening to that track in particular, it's almost like a tonic, really.
Well, I suppose, yeah. I don't know. Did it cheer me up? Don't know. It might have cheered somebody up. I don't know. Cheered me up because I like my guitar solo on that. I was rather proud of it because I'm not really a guitarist.
I just can't keep a smile on my face. I belong to the human race. It's my happy day. I just take one big look in your eyes and I'm lost in paradise. It's my happy day. It's been a long time coming. I'm gonna make the most of it. We're off and running. Brand new habit I just can't quit. Stars in my eyes, dreams in my pocket. My heart is beating, I just can't stop it. It's my happy day. Oh, happy. I'm so happy. I'm sitting on top of the world. Dreams come true, I'm telling you. Beautiful, beautiful girl. Stars in my eyes, dreams in my pocket. My heart is beating, I just can't stop it. It's my happy day. Oh, happy. My happy day. Oh, yes, it's my happy day.
Paul McCartney, you were on a few tracks on Run Devil Run.
Yeah, that was good crack. Well, it came from the Van Morrison, I suppose, because that time with Van Morrison, Mick Green was in the band, and I was already friendly with him, and he was doing the Paul McCartney thing, so he wrote me into it to do the same thing. And Paul McCartney was great. I didn't do much, there was only a couple of songs, but it was lovely to do it, and in Abbey Road as well, in that studio. So it's great.
Because one of those tracks on Run Devil Run that I think you were featured on was Lonesome Town, and obviously a cover, but it seemed to have a greater resonance because that was the period after Paul had lost Linda. And
Yeah, that was the... in fact, I think that record was like a therapy for him to sort of get it out of his system. I think it came right after that, didn't it? So he just wanted to do some rock and roll. And I don't know whether it worked, but it was great talk. It was great when he'd be in the control room, when he'd say, like, of course, when I was in the van with John, and he said, wow, because when you're in there, you're just doing the job. You get on with it until you go, hang on a minute, he's talking about John Lennon and in the van. You think, wow, brilliant. But up to then, you just do the job, you're just doing what you're paid to do. And that was a good crack.
Was it a quick process hearing the song first of all, or song suggested and recording it?
Yeah, it was only just did 2 days in there, and it was just it's pretty straightforward. Like, this is what we're doing. How about you go? How about this? Yeah, that's whatever.
And you mentioned Van Morrison, so mentioned Mick Green. So was it through Mick that you got working with Van, or?
I'm sure he must have had something to do with it, because Van always loved him. So I'm sure he must have mentioned, he says, "Oh, that Watkins fella's good. Try him out." Because Van's always trying different people out all the time. It's like it never stops. So I think it might have been Mick, and through the place in Newport as well. Van used to go to the King's Hotel because Mac just loved music and all that. I don't know how he came about, but I think Van used to go there quite a lot when he lived in Bath, just to have a meal, because Mac was pretty cool. And then Van used to come to the gigs, because Mac used to put gigs on in the hotel. He owned the hotel, so he was, and he had loads of money, as Mac. And that's another story about the Mac thing. He's brilliant. So I think that it came through that as well. And we used to do gigs in Palm Alligators. So I think, it's all. But he's always on the lookout. All the bands everywhere. And there'll be people, it's a bit like a football manager, with the scouts going out. And they'll come back with a recommendation.
Was it piano and organ that you featured on there? Because I think there's organ quite prominent on Philosopher's Stone, for example.
It was organ on. In fact, it's just organ on there, on the Back on Top. But that was the one. And so that was all organ. But then when I played the gigs, I did organ, main and piano. And then John Allaire came in, his old organ player from America. And he's brilliant too. It was a real privilege playing with him. So I played piano then, and he played organ.
Ah.
He's really brilliant. I don't know what I was doing there, but it was great.
So how did Van Morrison compare to, say, Paul McCartney recording? Was Van quite directive in the sound that he wanted, or?
No, he just, I don't know how he do it. He's just got that way about him. He just walks into the room and just starts singing. And you just sort of go, okay, there you go. And you just want, and you think, oh, shit. And I can't even remember going through any of the songs. I just remember he might have a guitar, he might not, but he's just got that presence. You can imagine, can't he? When you walk in the room, everybody goes, oh shit, it's fine. It's like that. But sometimes it was brilliant because he would follow it, and he'd just go easy, and he'd go, and it's like, and then sometimes it really worked. I mean, a lot of that record worked, but that's how it is. But yeah, he's exceptional like that, I think. But brilliant because he really keeps you on your toes. You're going with it. Great.
Up in the morning, out on the job. Yeah, my hands they got, yeah, my hands are cold. But I'm looking for the silver lining, silver lining in the clouds. I'm on the road again, I'm searching for the philosopher's stone.
It's a hard road, it's a hard road, Daddy-o. And my job is turning into gold. On the back street, on the back street, Jelly Roll. I'm on the road again and I'm searching for the philosopher's stone. Up in the morning where the streets are white with snow. Yeah, we were singing, don't you rock me, Daddy-o. When you hear that engine, when you hear that engine drone, I'm on the road again and I'm searching for you philosopher's stone. Then you ramble all around. Oh, Then they ramble, then they ramble all around. And they ramble till our butchers cut them down. Philosopher's stone.
And you mentioned Only a Rose earlier, which is one of your best known songs. You referred to Nick Lowe supporting you to finish the song.
Yeah, no, he did only by saying it's finished. And that was it. And the demo I sent him, and, he said, there's no need to do any more. That is it, which I did at home on the ADAT, on the 8-track. And it sort of is. We did it again, of course. We've done it on loads of gigs. When I did a lot of, when I opened for Nick, and then we do maybe Only a Rose, just the two of us, that sort of thing. But no, he's been really helpful.
Only a Rose, the version that was on Dial W for Watkins and this set, that's actually the demo, and actually that was so good.
Yeah. And that's the, And it does the one thing, well, I don't know who decided, but the demo did go on for about 6 minutes because it was so brilliant. But we thought, no, it's not that brilliant. So we cut it down a bit.
And Bob Dylan's a fan of you as well as that song as well.
Apparently, yeah. I don't know him or anything. And I don't know. But, if he likes it, I'm not going to argue because he knows a thing or two.
Only a rose, only a rose, only a rose for my darling. Only a rose, only a rose, only a rose for my darling. She was my pride and joy. She was my everything. She was my pride and joy. She was my everything. Only a rose, only a rose, only a rose for my darling. Only a rose, only a rose. Only a rose for my darling. She was my pride and joy. She was my everything. She was my pride and joy. She was my everything. Only a rose, only a rose, only a rose for my darling. Only a rose, only a rose, only a rose for my darling. Only a rose, only.
So, playing with Bill Wyman, had you known Bill Wyman before you played with the Rhythm Kings?
Well, when Willie and the Poor Boys, that came through Andy Fairweather Low, because he got friendly with Bill with some trip. And then when Willie and the Poor Boys came up, which was a charity thing for Ronnie Lane, the MS thing.
Yeah.
So, and it was Andy Fairweather Low recommended me to do it. And Mickey G as well, who was in Shakey's band. And Henry Spinetti, and Mickey G was on the Dominators record, of course. So it's all, we're all in the same gang, I suppose.
Some of that material of you playing with the Rhythm Kings is captured on the Live Communication album. There's a song on that live LP, Louisiana 1927, which is Randy Newman's song, and that's got Dennis Lockyer.
Oh, the one with Dennis Lockyer on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good, yeah. Yeah, I remember that live record. And he was a good bloke, Dennis Lockyer. I shared the back of the bus with him, and we'd sit there and just not bother each other too much. Anyways, it was really nice. Really nice fella.
How was it playing live with Bill and the musicians there? Was it just good fun?
It was, yeah. It was great, really. And the more I look back at it, you think, God, that was brilliant, huh? And when you got Albert Lee, you've got Beverly Skeet, and then you've got Georgie Fame and the brass players, Graham Broad on the drums. It was like brilliant. And then you got Terry and Bill. And we had a good fun every night. And the music was brilliant. Yeah, it was great. I wish we were still doing it. But, there's a limit. Georgie Fame was brilliant, to be on stage with him. And they was great guests, like Dennis Lockyer. We had Eddie Floyd on one tour, Mary Wilson.
When you were in your teens, who did you look up to on piano or organ? Who inspired you?
Oh, I suppose, Ray Charles is the obvious one like that. And I suppose the rock and roll Jerry Lee and Little Richard, because I thought, I could do that. With the Ray Charles, you think, that's a bit tricky. And then all the boogie woogie stuff. And then you hear Professor Longhair. And the first thing was the Beatles, I suppose. That was the first record I bought. But that was, a lot of that's rock and roll, isn't it? And the Rolling Stones, of course, same, through the 60s is all that stuff. And the Animals, they were like R&B band. And Spencer Davis, Stevie Winwood, and the Small Faces, all that stuff. That was like sort of like, wow, this is brilliant, and Georgie Fame and the Live at the Flamingo, all that stuff. Great.
has happened down here is the wind have changed. Clouds roll in from the north and it starts to rain. It rained real hard and it rained for a real long time. 6 feet of water in the streets of Evangeline. The river rolls all day, the river rolls all night. Some people got lost in the flood, but some people got away all right. But that river have busted through clear down to Plaquemine, and it left 6 feet of water in the streets of Evangeline. Louisiana, Louisiana, they're trying to wash us away. They're trying to wash us away. Louisiana, oh, Louisiana, they're trying to wash us away. They're trying to wash us away. Yeah. President Coolidge, he come down here on a railroad train when the little fat man got a notepad in his hand. And the president say, little fat man, now ain't it a shame what the river has done to this poor cracker's land? Louisiana, Louisiana, they try to wash, they try to wash, they try to wash us away. Louisiana, they try to wash us away. They try to wash us away. Trying to wash us away. That's right. They're trying to wash us away. They're trying to wash us away.
We've been discussing some of your inspirations, but a really interesting combination is you working with someone from the younger generation, Simon Ratcliffe of Basement Jaxx, on one of your more recent albums. That was an inspired collaboration.
It was, yeah. And that was all his doing. I mean, I loved it. He just phoned up and said, do you want to do a record? And he was like, oh, yes. And he lives close by, so we could sort of do it gradually. Like we didn't sort of, because we co-wrote quite a few of the songs. So he just come round and we worked at it slowly until we thought, hang on, should we just put this out? And it was like, yeah, and that's been pretty good. We still do some of those songs in our set, and it's we're going to have to make another one now. I've got some new songs. And soon there'll be another one. because we only put this backwards one on because it's good to, I don't know. It's just a way of getting more gigs, really. But I've putting it out, you think, bloody hell, that's me. That's my life. And then you think, well, it could be worse. Could have been working in a sausage factory all this time.
Heaven Only Knows, which is from Rush of Blood, the album that you also collaborated with Simon Ratcliffe on.
Yeah.
It's a song in particular, and especially in these days of streaming, certain songs just take off. That is an example where it's had a lot of listens, that one. I think over 1 million on Spotify.
Yeah, but I don't think we get any money out of that. But I've heard about the figures, and you think, oh, that's not even going to amount. But it's still very flattering.
So you're planning or playing live dates with the Mosquitoes, are you?
Yeah, we got a few in the book, and the last few gigs have been really good. We've hit a golden moment, I think. We just want to keep at it. Who knows?
It'd be great to see you guys live and hopefully play quite a number of tracks from this collection.
Yeah, we will do. And they'll all be good. We do mainly that, but we do, like Ollie does a few numbers, and Martin on the sax does it with features a bit, so it's not just my old songs, but it's mainly mine stuff. But it's a nice broad thing, I think. The whole band is a good rocking band. And we do a few, rock and roll classics and stuff. So it's pretty good.
Brilliant. Well, I've absolutely loved listening to Aid Memoir, and I wish you all the best with its release.
Oh, great. Thank you. And thank you for inviting me to talk. Somebody's got to do it, haven't they?
No, it's a huge pleasure.
Right. Oh, brilliant. Well, that's lovely.
So we started with the piano and we're ending.
Yeah, we've ended with the piano. You've changed, the sparkle in your eyes, it's gone.
Heaven only knows the answer. Heaven only knows what it is. What it is. What it is. Heaven only knows what I'm thinking. Heaven only knows what goes on in my mind, in my mind, in my mind. It's no secret. Heaven only knows. Heaven only knows why I love you. Heaven only knows what I feel like I do, like I do, like I do. It's no secret, but heaven only knows. Heaven only knows what you're thinking. Heaven only knows what goes on in your mind, in your mind. Lord, in your mind, yeah. It's no secret. Heaven only knows.
Thank you for listening to the Strange Brew podcast. If you do like the show, please consider a small donation to help keep the show archive online. It's 10 years since I started the podcast, and hosting fees are increasing over time. All your support keeps the show running and helps me get amazing guests. To support me, just go to thestrangebrew.co.uk where you'll see a donate button on the homepage. Thank you very much. Plus, any reviews on your podcast services help to spread the word too. Thank you.